there is a concept that I love in self-improvement, and it's the concept of building blocks. Just like building a house, pretty much. You want to start from the bottom and go to the top by slowly adding things on top of each other. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I consider that mental health is the most basic block you can put onto your house. And the future of your house, your success in your self-improvement journey is completely dictated by how strong and how solid, sturdy your mental health block is. I would say this is something that is not taught enough in self-improvement. I'd say that a lot of people start by trying to go to the gym, trying to build a business, trying to make more money, trying to do looks maxing. These are very secondary in self-improvement. The first thing that you should be focusing on is mental health. The reason why I'm saying this is because your mental health dictates how you can perform, how you're feeling, how motivated you are, how successful you feel. Your self-perception is something we really underestimate, because when you feel very strong, athletic, successful, all these good things, when you feel like this, you act like this. This is a really important tip that not a lot of people use. When you look at affirmations and things like this, it can seem a little bit like a bullshit topic, of course. But the way you see yourself really dictates how you act in your daily life. And when you see yourself as someone successful, you're gonna act like someone successful. So just like with building a house, your base, your foundation of what you're trying to build will determine the entire future of the process. If you start with a bad block, you can try to add things on top of each other. It would work at first, but then at some point it will crumble down. The way I see this is people around me that have bad mental health with anxiety, depression, other kind of issues like that, and are trying to improve themselves in self-improvement. I always see the same issue where they are very ambitious, they want to build something, they want to get better at things, and they try to do it. It works for some time, but at some point it crumbles down, the entire house collapses on itself, and you find people that have tried a few things but gave up after some time because they thought it was not working, they were not feeling better, there were all these other issues. But the main problem with this is that they were not working on their mental health first. It's hard to make people understand because I know mental health is it's kind of an annoying topic in some sense because it's not as flashy as looks maxing, going to the gym, lifting heavy weights, building a business. These are things that are I don't know, so colorful, you want to do them, they are vibrant, the things you want to grab and do, right? And mental health can be yeah, whatever this is, I don't really care. When in fact, most of the time, and in life it's kind of a general rule, the most boring stuff is the most important stuff. Just like when building a business, sometimes you have to do those boring tasks, and most of the time these boring tasks are what are gonna determine the future of your entire business. If you only focus on the fun things, sure, that can be good for some time, but your business will never grow pretty much. So what does a good and bad mental health look like? Can you know if you are experiencing any bad mental health right now? Maybe you are really clear on the subject and you know it's the case for you, or it's not the case for you, or otherwise you're kind of in between, pretty much like I was for most of my life. I was feeling well, but at the same time I was not feeling great, and I had some things that were not right. So how do you tell if you actually are experiencing any of those issues? Well, you've all heard about depression and anxiety. These are the two biggest ones in the mental health issue space. So yeah, depression and anxiety are the biggest ones in this group. Now, how do you know if you actually have them? Well, it's actually pretty easy. When you feel sad, when you feel depressed, when you feel like you don't want to do anything, nothing is worth it, you are most likely in a depressed state. It doesn't mean you have depression. Depression is when you have this kind of condition for a long period of time. So if it's lasting months, you might actually have depression, bro. And it's the same with anxiety. Same thing with stress. When you have stress in your life, it's something completely normal that happens to everyone. But now in our society, we are way more stressed than we used to be. And anxiety is just that, having stress over a long period of time. And when I say long period of time, guys, I'm not saying 1 week or 2 weeks, I'm saying months at least. You cannot be considered to have anxiety if you've been stressed for 2 weeks, right? Except if you have constant panic attacks and you really can't work, you can't sleep, you can't do anything. Okay, you might have severe anxiety, pretty much what I had when I was a little bit younger. But yeah, these are the two biggest ones. We either look at sadness or stress. These are the two main factors of bad mental health, right? To do an entire diagnosis, it's really hard, and I'm probably not the one to look for, but you can pretty much self-diagnose yourself with having anxiety if you are experiencing panic attacks and you have prolonged period of stress that lasts maybe months or so. Same thing with depression. If you always feeling like shit, you feel like nothing's worth it, maybe you have suicidal thoughts, and it's like a constant state of feeling like shit, you might have depression. Now, if you are part of those people, I'm actually trying to help you with this YouTube channel and with my coaching program that you can find in the first link in the description down below, where I help young guys to actually get better with those issues by teaching what I did myself to get better. But otherwise, if you don't want to spend money on a coaching program, you can just watch this video and subscribe, because that's what I'm trying to do here: educate people on those issues and actually help people get rid of those issues forever, because this shit sucks. But if I can help you with a few like easy to implement tips, I would say that the first thing that is really important is trying to maximize your sleep, because your sleep is something that determines how your mental state actually is. People with poor sleep don't even realize it, because you can have poor sleep for like years without realizing it and feeling like you're doing okay, when in fact your mental health is taking a toll, and it's something you should really work on. Otherwise, there are like things you most likely heard, like meditation, journaling. Doing sports actually helps a ton with people that have depression or anxiety. It's something that really helped me to get out of it. And yeah, otherwise read a book on those issues. The biggest advice I can actually give you is be like proactive in your way out of this. Take action, take responsibility for those issues, because most of the time it comes from us not wanting to work on our traumas and on things that we find really disturbing and we don't want to think about. These are the things that you should think about, okay? So yeah, that was pretty much the entire point of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you are interested in my coaching program, it's down below like always. Otherwise, go and watch other YouTube videos that I made on the subject that can most likely help you a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.